humble young woman accepts a dating contract with a billionaire. But she never imagined what would before we dive into this story. Comment below and tell us which city you're watching from. And once the story ends, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Enjoy this amazing tale, only on Behind the Door. Let's get started. Emma wiped down the last table at the cafe, her shoulders aching from the double shift. At 23, she juggled 3 jobs just to keep her grandmother's medical bills paid and a roof over their heads. Her worn sneakers and faded jeans told the story of someone who knew struggle intimately, yet her eyes still sparkled with an unbreakable spirit. That Tuesday evening changed everything. A sleek black car pulled up outside the cafe just as she was locking up. A man in an expensive suit stepped out, his presence commanding the entire street. Alexander Chen. Even Emma, who barely had time to follow celebrity news, recognized the billionaire tech mogul whose face graced magazine covers. "What are you still doing here?" Emma asked, confused as he walked directly toward her. Alexander's expression was unreadable. "I have a proposition for you, one that could solve all your financial problems." Emma's hand tightened around her keys. "I'm not interested in whatever you're selling." He smiled slightly, the first crack in his icy demeanor. 6 months. Be my girlfriend in public. Attend events, smile for cameras, convince the world we're in love. In return, $1 million and all your grandmother's medical expenses covered. Emma's heart pounded. This had to be a joke. Why me? I'm nobody. Exactly. My board wants me to settle down, improve my public image. Every woman in my social circle has ulterior motives. You're different. Real. Plus, Alexander's jaw tightened. I've been watching you for 3 weeks. You're kind, hardworking, and you don't know anything about my world. That makes you perfect. The number echoed in Emma's mind. $1 million. Her grandmother's surgery. No more working until midnight. But something felt wrong. What's the catch? Alexander pulled out a thick contract. No romantic involvement. Strictly professional. You play the role. I pay you. After 6 months, we stage a quiet breakup, and you walk away wealthy enough to start whatever life you want. Emma stared at the document, her hands trembling. Every logical part of her screamed this was insane, but the image of her grandmother's frail body in that hospital bed haunted her. 1 week, she finally said. Give me 1 week to think about it. 3 days later, her grandmother's condition worsened. The doctors needed to operate immediately, but the cost was astronomical. Emma found herself standing outside Alexander's office building, the contract clutched in her shaking hands. The first month was a whirlwind. Designer dresses replaced her thrift store clothes. Fancy restaurants became her dining rooms. Photographers captured every moment. Alexander was the perfect gentleman in public, charming and attentive. But behind closed doors, he was distant, buried in work. Treating her like a business arrangement, nothing more. Emma played her part flawlessly. She laughed at his jokes, held his hand at galas, and convinced the world they were madly in love. But something unexpected was happening. She began to notice the small things. How Alexander anonymously donated to children's hospitals. How he remembered her coffee order. How his eyes softened when he thought she wasn't looking. During their 3rd month, everything shifted. They attended a charity event where a fire broke out. Panic erupted. Alexander could have escaped immediately, but instead, he fought through the crowd searching frantically. When he found Emma helping an elderly woman, something cracked in his carefully constructed walls. That night, in the safety of his penthouse, Alexander finally opened up. My parents died in a car accident when I was 19, he whispered. I built this empire to prove I was worth something. But somewhere along the way, I forgot how to be human. Then I saw you at that cafe, treating every customer like family. smiling despite your exhaustion. You reminded me of who I used to be. Emma's heart ached. This wasn't part of the contract. Falling for him wasn't in the agreement. But here she was, seeing the broken, lonely man behind the billionaire mask. The 5th month brought disaster. Alexander's rival discovered their arrangement and threatened to expose everything. The scandal would destroy Alexander's company and Emma's reputation. Alexander made a choice. He held a press conference and told the truth. Yes, our relationship started as a contract. But somewhere along the way, it became real. At least for me. The media exploded. The board demanded his resignation. Emma watched from her apartment as everything crumbled. She had her money. Her grandmother was healthy, but her heart was shattered. On the last day of their contract, Emma returned to the café. Alexander found her there, looking tired but determined. I lost my position as CEO, he said quietly. The empire I built is gone. I have nothing to offer you now except the truth. I love you, Emma. Not the version you played for cameras. The real you. The woman who saw past my walls and reminded me what it means to truly live. Emma looked at the man who had entered her life with a business proposal and somehow became everything. The contract said 6 months. But what if we wrote a new one? One without end dates or conditions. Just 2 people choosing each other every single day. Alexander smiled, truly smiled, for the first time since she'd known him. That sounds like the best deal I've ever made. So what did you think of this incredible story? Rate it from 0 to 10 in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Behind the Door for more amazing stories. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Until next time, keep believing in the unexpected.